Speaking of that, Sanders campaign manager Jeff Weaver joining me now. So, Jeff, what about it? Has there been any communication, any contact at all between the Trump world and your team as to whether or not there could be this debate?
Well, I think there's starting to be some back-channel discussions. I do hope, I saw that thing last night, and it seemed that Donald Trump was serious when he was talking about it. And, I hope that his handlers or don't dissuade him, or that he doesn't sort of chicken out on this. I think it would be great for the American people to be able to see these two candidates on stage debating the important issues. Donald Trump has really a disastrous agenda for America, tax breaks for the rich, thinks wages are too high, thinks climate change is a hoax made up by the Chinese. These are his own words. And to contrast that with Bernie Sanders' bold vision for a transformed America that works for working families, I think would benefit a lot of voters in this country. And I have to believe that this would be one of the most watched debates ever in presidential politics.
Well, Jeff, let's take a look at the way Donald Trump referred to Bernie Sanders just yesterday in Anaheim, California.
It could be we're going to run against Crazy Bernie. That could be. Could be Crazy Bernie. He's a crazy man, but that's okay. We like crazy people.
So he's setting you up, isn't he? He's trying to take advantage of the situation to hurt the Democratic Party by labeling you Crazy Bernie, by trying to pump up Bernie Sanders and diminish Hillary Clinton. Wouldn't such a debate actually hurt Democrats?
I don't know that crazy is building us up, but...
Well, he's trying to make more of this than perhaps actually exists. Isn't he trying to build Bernie Sanders up as the person he's taking on?
Well, let's see if he has the courage to get on a stage with Bernie Sanders and go one-on-one about the important issues facing the country. That'll be the real test. I mean, I think, Donald...
Isn't it an attempt to hurt Hillary Clinton, though?
I don't think it's going to hurt Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, who's ever the eventual nominee. If Bernie Sanders gets on a stage and exposes that Donald Trump stands for an agenda that will devastate American families, that is reckless, that's geared to help rich people like himself, I think that will help the Democratic Party. I think it'll galvanize Democrats as he's exposed on stage on substantive issue after substantive issue about how he is looking to create an America, in fact, that will benefit the rich and hurt working families.
Now, back in Las Vegas months ago, Bernie Sanders in that first debate gave Hillary Clinton a pass on her email controversy. In reading this report from the State Department, do you have regrets? Does Bernie Sanders have a second view or new thoughts about what she did and the whole damage of the email controversy?
Well, the senator has been very clear, since that debate, that he wanted this campaign focused on the substantive differences between the two candidates, issues like minimum wage, on health care, on climate change, on fracking. There are a whole host of trade. There's a whole host of substantive differences between the candidates. There is a process going on. This IG report is only one part of that process. There's a separate State Department investigation going on. There's an FBI investigation going on. And
but this is the State Department.
Take its course.
This is the State Department investigation. So this is a substantive issue, the issue of security of your emails, security of classified communications, the potential that we've now seen from the report that there were attempts to hack the private server. What about her judgment?
Well, I think Senator Sanders has talked about her judgment on a number of substantive issues, including her support for the Iraq War over time. But this process is not done. This investigation into the emails and the server is not done. I think we should wait until it's done and see what the FBI comes up with. The IG, there is a separate State Department investigation other than this IG one going on. So let's see how the process works its way out. And until then, let's talk about the substantive differences between Secretary Clinton and Senator Sanders. And if we get this debate, hopefully, if Donald Trump has the courage to get on stage with Bernie Sanders, we'll see the substantive differences between Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders.
And I wanted to ask you about Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is what Claire McCaskill had to say, barely defending Debbie Wasserman Schultz. In fact, some would say leaving her twisting in the wind. Let's watch.
No one is calling on Debbie Wasserman Schultz to step down, but Debbie has to make a decision going forward, because what we all have to focus on now is how we unite.
Is it possible for the party to to unite as long as Debbie Wasserman Schultz is still the chairman in advance of the convention? Or is this an issue to be resolved after the convention?
Well, I think we have seen over time that the chairwoman has become increasingly a divisive figure in the party. I mean, Senator McCaskill, as you know, is a quite vocal and a proponent of Secretary Clinton's campaign. She has been sort of on the offense at times against Senator Sanders. And I think even people who, like Senator McCaskill, understand that if the party's going to come together, you know, the conduct that we saw from the chairwoman's office over the course of this campaign really is a sticking point for a lot of people out there who support Senator Sanders. You know, the millions of people who support Senator Sanders, that they've seen the finger on the scale, and you know, they're not happy about it.
Is there back channel negotiations right now between your camp and the Clinton camp to resolve this? And does that require, in your point of view, having a different chairman?
Well, there is not conversations going on right now about this, back channel conversations, but I would say this. I think unity in the party would be much easier to achieve if we had a consensus, a chair who was committed to playing the traditional role that chairs of parties play, which is, you know, even when there's sharp elbows in a primary contest, the chair of the party is looking out for the broader interests of the party to make sure that the party can come together in the end. And we've seen repeatedly from Chairwoman Wasserman Schultz that that's really not the role that she's played. You know, after the Nevada controversy, she came out and according to one unnamed Clinton source in a story, said she poured the gasoline on the fire, which is exactly what she did. Instead of trying to bring people together and to work through it, she really escalated the situation. So, you know, that's really not the role that party chairs traditionally play. I mean, if you look on the Republican side, the party chair there has been working day and night to try to, you know, keep everybody in together and to try to unify the party. And I think we need a similar effort on the Democratic side.
Jeff Weaver, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us today.